Hey everybody, welcome back. David Eon and the lovely Miss Lady Pop Hunter here. We're over on Lady Pop Hunter channel. Hooray!
Yay.
She haven't put a video up in a minute.
Yeah.
But we're getting back to it and we're doing Alan's challenge of the week.
Alan from Comic Collector Geek does a weekly challenge every Friday. And this week it's the top 10 90s books. So you go through your comic collection and you pull out whatever book he has, and it's usually different cover challenges.
Yes.
So I pulled out some.
And
David
you see the
put up.
hashtags, so if you would also like to participate, you
Please
can
participate.
copy those hashtags, and the suggestion is about 10 books.
Yeah, but most of the time we pick out more.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, because I don't have as many books, I'll just pull out what I have. Yeah. Sometimes it's 4 books, sometimes it's 5. Sometimes it's more because I get excited and start pulling stuff out. But I got some 90s books here, and then David is going to do it, but we're going to put his section on Open by Chance. So you get to watch both. Because I need to put some content up on my channel.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and get started.
What do you have?
So the first one I have is Batman Adventures, and this is based on Batman the Animated Series cartoon, which I believe by far is the best cartoon ever. And if you look at, you go on Google's and you pull up top 100 TV shows, this is always in the top 10. Batman the Animated Series is always in the top 10, and it has been for years. It's well written. Voice actors are good.
Yeah.
It's not a continuous story. They're standalones. But every so often, 1 or 2 of them might tie in.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a really good cartoon. I've seen some other older shows that are much better. But it is like the Flash Gordon is good. The style, the 70s Flash Gordon is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the Fleischman Superman from the 40s.
Oh yeah.
Which the style from this was modeled after, with that dark imagery. But yeah, I mean it's still a really decent series. Though. Season 2 was a little wonky in the beginning though, but.
Yeah, it got kind of funny acting, but it ironed itself out.
And the big one from this, of course, is the Harley Quinn, but that's a tough one to find.
Yeah, these books you can mainly find $2-3. They're not a lot until you get to the Harley Quinn, and I think it's the last book in the series.
Well, number 1, it can be expensive also,
it
but
ain't
as well
that expensive. I mean, you can get it for about $20.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the Harley Quinn goes for a couple of $100. And I think that's the last book in the series. Then we still on Batman. We have the famous one, Batman Nightfall, where Bane breaks Batman's back.
Yeah.
So this is a good one. And then you see Bane in Batman the Animated Series. He comes out of there. This one is the first appearance of Bane, The Vengeance of Bane.
Yes. Right here. Trying to get the glare out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And it's 2 books in that series.
Great artwork on this. And this one's the second printing. Yeah. It can be about just as tough as finding the first one. Sometimes those other printings can be even harder.
Yeah.
But that's a classic character. He's become a classic character.
This one is Batman Cult, and this is the... Oh, hold on. I got 2 books. This is Batman Cult, and this is the omnibus. I have not read this yet. But I will, because I read the omnibus first, and I'm already on one. And once I finish, I'll move on to the next one. But this is Batman Cult.
And it's an interesting story, and then great artwork in that series, too.
Jonah Hex. I like Jonah Hex. Yeah. This one came out in the 90s because you had the original series. You had Weird Western Tales, and it had Jonah Hex. Then you had just Jonah Hex. Then they had a version that came out in the 80s just called Hex. And then you have this one. And it's a series that came out after in the 2000s. So you know how they like to do. Just keep things going.
Yeah.
They never let it go. And you got the Jonah Hex here.
No relation to Tex Hex.
The Death of Superman. I have the whole series. I picked out this one because it has the flag. It's very patriotic. And this is the robot one. Because in the Death of Superman, what it was, four Supermans?
Yeah, there was, I think,
he's
four,
one.
four tried to claim to be him.
Yeah, tried to claim. They had the little kid, the robot, and two others. And this is one.
The android from from his Fortress of Solitude.
Oh yeah, that was pretending to be him.
Yeah, because this one was a fraud.
Yeah,
I think. And then there was Mark Henry, the black guy.
Well, he was trying to kind of keep everything calm, not saying that he wasn't saying he was Superman,
but he wanted to
just get things back on track.
But he was part of that.
Yeah. Ragman. And if you've been watching my channel, I did a review of the 70s version of Ragman, which the story was okay. We talked about it. It's a lot of things that they missed that they could have picked up on. This is the second series that came out in the 90s. I read the overview. I didn't read it yet. I read the overview, and it sounds like they got a better hold of the story than they did in the first series.
Really interesting character, actually, once they've developed it properly.
Yeah, in the original, you could see, okay, they're trying to do something here, but it was kind of loose, and it needed to be cleaned up a bit. From what I can gather, it sounds like they kind of fixed it or brought it together a little better in the second series. This one of my favorite characters, the Phantom Stranger, revisited by Vertigo. Yeah. So he was revisited. So all of these characters have been revisited so many times.
Yeah. Trying to keep them alive.
Yeah. Try to keep them alive. I'm okay with it as long as the personality or the character doesn't go off the rails.
Yeah.
As long as they keep who they are, like Batman. Everybody know Batman and his personality. Now, if you get this jolly Batman and his whole personality change, you're like, Batman would never do that.
Yeah.
That's not his personality. That's when I think it starts getting wonky. Now we got the Spectre. And of course, another one that has been revisited 1,000 times.
That's some great detail on that cover, too.
Yeah, and it's one of those, what you call it, embossed, because if you feel it, it's all lifted up. And I like it. It's not a crucifixion cover, but it looks like it, the way that he's standing. So I really like that
aspect. And that ties in with Alan's theme also, because that's something he refers to as the plastic age in the 90s, because you got, platinum, gold, silver, bronze, atomic, copper. I don't know about plastic, but maybe aluminum.
Aluminum.
Well, think about it, because they used to do that aluminum embossing on a lot of the comics. They still do it to give it a metallic finish. Yeah. And things like that.
Well, I mean, now we in the 2000s. Yeah. The 2020. After 2020,
this is the magazine age, because they don't use the same type print paper anymore. No,
now they use that glossy print.
I like the magazine style paper.
Yeah, I like the newspaper style. It feels better in your hand. It doesn't stick and get greasy.
The modern ones are harder to press.
It's hard to turn the pages too.
They'll stick together and they'll melt. The ink will melt.
You got to lick your finger to turn the page.
No.
You can't do that with the.
I never did that.
You never did that to turn the page? How you turn the page?
I just turn the page.
Well, you know how the page is sticky. You got to lick your finger and turn the page.
Oh, no.
Now, I know we're heavy on DC. I got more DC than anything. And then when I was looking, because the DC is in the front, so that's what you get. But Detective Comics, this one right here, just got some stuff going on. I like this cover. I honestly don't know what this one is about. I just got it. I just got this book recently, and I got it because of the cover.
Yes.
I really like this cover. I do. And then I didn't put it away yet, and I saw it, and this one
Hey.
So I can't even talk about the book, what it's about.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what do you do? But it's a 90s book.
Yeah.
It's Detective Comics Batman. And then I think I like because this shadowy figure looks like the Phantom Stranger. If you ever saw a bunch of the Phantom Stranger books, he's usually in the background and there's a shadow. And I think that's pretty much what drew me to the book.
He could be Mandrake.
No,
a different series.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Or the Shadow, because the Shadow kind of hangs back.
Shadow wears a fedora.
Yeah, but sometimes he kind of hangs back. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
0 Hour from what's that? The Crisis in Time series. Like this cover. I like the coloring on it, and then you got all the different characters going on right there. So I think it's just a good cover from the 90s. And the one thing that gets me with DC, you have like these characters like the 0 Hour, but then if you look at Detective Comics, they run over. So you have Detective Comics 0 Hour, Batman 0 Hour, and then all of the books kind of tie in under different main titles.
Yeah, way to suck you into another title.
Yeah, and then it gets kind of, when you're putting it in your database, it gets kind of wonky.
Marvel does that too.
Yeah, all of them do that, but
that.
I'm just saying it just gets kind of wonky. But, And then the last one that I have is The Killing Joke, the omnibus form. Of
hardcover form. Yeah,
hardcover.
This is a one-shot story.
Yeah. Of The Killing Joke.
And
we saw the movie.
Yeah.
We had the animated, because we watched the animated DC movies, and we had The Killing Joke. And it was a good story after they got rid of Batgirl.
Because, and again, if you never saw the animated one, the first half of the animated film, it's not here. They just made something up and added it to pad the film out. But this part of the story is spot on to the book in the animated, and you're like, okay, it's good writing. But the first part of it that they just kind of merged together, it's like, wow, it's not that great. It doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't even tie it. They kind of try to tie it in, but then it's like they do a transition, but then they kind of leave it alone. It's like, okay, we're done with that, bye. And then they get on to the story.
Yeah, suddenly you're doing this.
And when you get to the actual story, the Killing Joke story, it's actually pretty good. It's well done. I like with the animated Batman, they used what was his name that just died? Kevin Conley, and Mark Hamill. I think they work well together. The new guy that's doing the Batman, I like his voice too, and I hope they continue using him. It's O'Hara. I don't remember his first name, but I think he does a good Batman voice. You got to have the right voice, and that's all.
So, anything further to say about that?
No, those are
just a handful of
books.
picks.
I don't even know how much it was.
And then just for the record, though, she bought this one graded and had me take it out.
And the reason why, because David he started cringing and shaking and all kinds of stuff. The reason why I bought it, because one, you knew it was a 9.4.
Yes.
And it was cheaper than it was on
copies.
Right.
Actually.
It was on bids. It was on bids. It was cheaper than the price of grading. And it was cheaper than the raw copies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at least I know for a fact I'm getting a 9.4. That was my thought. I don't like graded books.
Well,
I don't want them in the case. Yeah. I want it out and about.
Okay.
I want to feel it, and I want the book to be free. So.
Okay.
So that's what I did, and so I got this cheaper than it would cost to grade it. It was on bids. Nobody was bidding on it. It's a 9.4. I know that.
Yeah, that one.
That's what the thing said.
She always manages to find stuff that slips through the cracks.
You gotta look. You gotta be patient.
And again, this is for the challenge from Comic Collector Geek.
Yeah, Alan. Hey, Alan.
Over at Comic Collector Geek. And if you would also like to participate, the hashtags are up there. Please feel free. And also, if you want to see my list, pop back over to Open by Chance.
Also, one last thing. Want to say thank you to all of y'all that have went over to Alan's channel, because he's been on Open by Chance several times. We've been on his channel, and we've done live streams together. He showed his books. Many of you have went to his channel and subscribed, and we're grateful for that, because, he has a wealth of information when it comes to comics. He got a lot of examples. He got a lot of comics to show. He has one of those comic collections that you just like, man, one day I want to get. It's him, Alan from Comic Collector Geek, and Steven.
Collecto6.
Who doesn't have a channel, but he does have an Instagram. He's Collector6.
Yeah, Collecto6. And we've had him on the chats
he has
too.
a wealth of information when it comes to comics, and he also has one of those comic collections. So thank you to everybody who went to Alan's channel. You subscribe, you watch his videos, and if you haven't, please go over to his channel, give him a watch, a like. Just see what he got. He does a lot of show and tell. He loves showing his books. So if you ask him, hey, do you have this? He will do a video.
Yeah, he'll find it.
He'll do a video and say, this is for so-and-so who wanted to see this book, and he'll show the book. So he's great when it comes to that. So, I wanted to make sure I said that.
Okay.
Bye.